It's just a story. I'm pretty sure that there are people in my life who already know the story. People at work, and of course, all of my closest friends, because they were all asking me what happened Saturday night on my birthday. And all my stories usually have morals, which I think is important. You need to have a moral at the end of the story.
Does this one have a moral?
Yes, it does. There's a moral to the story. And I think it's pretty obvious. Like, it wasn't obvious at the time, but I think that's how all moral stories go. You don't think about it until afterwards. Oh, I get it now. That's the reason that we would do this or do that. Should I do like an introduction of some sort?
Yeah. What's your tell me your name, your age. Set the scene. Where are we?
All right, cool. So my name is Christopher Goss, 23 years old, recently turned 23. And it's funny because the story has to do with the birthday party I had. Saturday, the 17th, I just got out of work here.
And can't help but interjecting and noting that I was not invited to the birthday or told about it.
Oh, it's kind of a little low-key thing,
We've only known each other for a handful of days, but I'm still going to take offense.
Understandable. If you didn't take offense, I'd be appalled at your personality. Like that's not you take offense to. It's important. But anyway, my friend was like, "Hey, we should go out for your birthday. It's going to be a good time." Blah 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 blah. And I had to work on my birthday, so I said, "Let's just do it Saturday." I get off pretty early, and I'm off the next day, and I can just relax after I sleep over my hangover. She's like, "Sure, cool." He's like, "Meet me at Barcelona. Just go with the guys upstairs. My old roommates live upstairs from me now. We're pretty close."
What's Barcelona?
Huh?
What's Barcelona?
Did the one down in Wrigleyville.
It's a bar?
It's a bar. It's called the Barcelona. It's crazy.
Oh, I get it. The Barcelona.
See, he gets it. But which the Barcelona is an okay bar. I feel like it's always dark in there, like too dark for a normal bar darkness. I feel like there's a level where you don't want to see fully see people in the light when you're drinking, but I feel like it's just too dark, and everybody just kind of has their cell phones out. Nonetheless, meet up everybody over there. We're having a good time. One of my best friends, Ryan, known him forever. He's like, "Hey, thanks for coming out. It's gonna be a good time." I was like, "Yeah, you'll get wild." I was like, "Yeah, of course I'll get wild." And one of our friends, Robin, she was having a birthday party or a Christmas party or whatever. I'm not sure what it was. I was pretty drunk when I was being explained. Christmas party. Guarantee it was a Christmas party. He's like, "Hey, look at my text message." She's like, are you and Chris come to the party?" And Ryan's like, "Yeah, we're working on it." And I was like, "We're not working on it. We're at the Barcelona." He's like, "I know." He's like, "It'll be okay. She'll be fine." So, needless to say, we drink a few drinks at Barcelona and head over to Rockwood, which is the next bar over, also in Wrigleyville. And at Rockwood, things get crazy. A lot of drinks going on. I'm double fisting the whole night. I got a Miller Lite in one hand and Diet Coke and Cap in the other hand. And the reason I do this, the whole mixed drink and beer thing, is because I feel like every now and then the barmaid kind of jip you on alcohol, so they can't really jip me on beer. So if I get mixed drink and alcohol, then I'm usually pretty good throughout the night. Needless to say, we got ridiculous drunk. Dancing was happening. I got into a lap dance contest with me and my girlfriend and two other people. I don't know who they were, but they weren't very nice people.
They were not.
No, they were. They were very nice.
They were.
So this is when the story gets real. My friend Ryan, in his drunkenness, he's like, "Hey man, I feel kind of bad. We're not going to Robin's. We should probably." He's like, "I'm gonna probably head up there after we leave the bar." I was like, "Man, she lives way out south. Are you gonna go by yourself?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll be fine. Don't worry about it." I'm like, "Come on, man. How long have we been friends? I can't let you go by yourself. We go as a team. I'll go with you. Tell my friends and everybody and my girlfriend, like, hey, go with them. I'm gonna go home. They'll get you home safe. I'm gonna go with Ryan. Can't leave him by himself." So she's like, "Okay, you guys have a fun time. Blah blah blah." Get in the cab. Now, we don't know where this girl lives. We have a general idea that she knows that she lives out south. So, she lives out south. We'll figure it out as we get there. Get in the cab, go out south, and about a quarter into the ride, we figure out that she lives on... I'm not sure. I know you're not too familiar with the Chicago scene, but she lives on 6th South Michigan. And if anybody who lives in Chicago knows that, if you're at Wrigleyville...
Does that mean 67th Street?
Yes.
So that's miles away.
Miles away.
Like 10 miles or more. Way down.
10 to 13. Easy.
And you're going to go in a cab?
Yeah.
That'll cost $500.
God, I felt like it was $500, but actually my friend Ryan took care of the fare on the way there. And I was like, I'll take the fare the way back.
Right.
I was like, make it even. I was like, plus I'll get tacos, because we always get tacos.
Yeah.
It's important. Nothing like Mexican food. But, so get there, get in front of the house, on the street or whatever. Cab driver pulls over, and then the first ring in bad luck is that we get pulled over as we're pulling over, which is hilarious. Cops take us out. Like, hey, what are you guys doing out here? We're like, hey, we're just going to visit a friend's house. And said, what's with the cab driver? Needless to say, all of our IDs get pulled out. And my friend...
Wait, there's nothing suspicious? The cab just pulled over?
Cab just pulled over.
And the cops pulled you over?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, there are probably not a lot of people taking cabs to 67th Street.
That was my idea. I was like, who's taking a cab? Like, first of all, this is a cab in this neighborhood. Crazy.
Right.
And second of all, we had two people in the, I guess me and Ryan are fairly good looking guys. I'm not sure. We're not your everyday.
I'll confirm that.
Thank you. No, we're not your everyday, gangsterlicious guys. Wear jeans.
Right.
We as you can see, I always wear my wool coat. That's how I go. Okay. But anyway, so we're in the cab. I had to pee like bad. I've been drinking alcohol and I broke the seal at Rockwood, so I'm like, man, I'm gonna pee in this cab.
Right.
If we don't get out of here. 20 minutes go by. They finally let us go. They said, be careful next time, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know what he said. I was really drunk, and I was like...
So they made you wait in the cab?
Yeah.
And they, ran some plates and numbers or something?
I guess they ran our IDs or whatever, because they pulled everybody's ID, or my driver's license, because I don't carry an ID. And, of course, I don't have anything on my record, so it's just,
Right.
Weird.
So you had to pee?
Oh, man, bad. I swear, I contemplated just pissing in the cab. And I was like, what's the worst that can happen? And I was like, probably not a good idea. Just before that idea actually sounded like a fantastic idea, the cops came back and gave us our IDs.
Right.
Told us to be careful and sent us on our way. We walked to our friend's house. I peed in someone's yard. I don't know who it was, but they had a nice yard, though. There's, gnomes and stuff or whatever. I remember that.
You peed in that?
Oh, yeah. I had to.
Sure. Just for the record, the crinkling that you're hearing, Chris is eating a burrito.
I'm not sure if it's a burrito. It's like a wrap, but I guess it's kind of like a burrito.
Yeah, it's like a wrap. Oh, yeah, it is a wrap.
Oh, wow.
That's nice.
Mrs. made it.
Wow, you get amazing stuff from being in this relationship.
I know, it's fantastic. I love this girl.
She made you granola last week?
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. Homemade granola. Now she's making you wraps, sending you to work with a wrap.
That's fantastic.
Unbelievable. So you pee in a gnome garden. But you're feeling good. You're feeling good at this point.
Feeling fantastic. We got out. We got the top situation. We're going to this party. Get to this party. Everybody's like, oh man, Chris and Ryan's here. Everybody's excited. We make a few jokes. Probably there maybe an hour. Party ends. All right, Ryan, we should probably get out of here. Robin, who lives here, and I guess we should listen to her, but we were way too drunk. She's like, you guys should probably call a cab before you leave. We're like, no, we'll be fine. We'll find the cab out there, thinking that this is Wrigleyville or up north. Walk outside. It's freezing cold. We're out there maybe half an hour, 25 minutes, waiting for a cab. They never comes, of course. I'm not sure what happened. I know better.
There are no cabs just driving around on 67th Street.
That's the first thing. And the second thing is it's like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning now. So I don't know what I was thinking, but it sounded like it was just so easy just to go grab a cab.
Were you far from the red line or the green line?
We weren't too far from the red line. So that does come in later.
Okay.
So we're like, what do you want to do? He's like, let's go back to Robin's house. We'll call a cab. That'll be it. I was like, cool, no problem. We call her up. We go back to her house again. She has a few drinks or whatever they left over, so we're drinking that. I call Jiffy Cab. I'm saying Jiffy Cab for a reason, because they have 1 star on Google Maps, and there's a reason why they have 1 star on Google Maps. The actual dispatch station is about half a mile away from this girl's house.
Not far.
Not far. I'm assuming that there are not a lot of cabs out at this night. So I'm like, hey, can I get a cab? He's like, yeah, it'll be 10 or 15 minutes, which is acceptable. I'm like, cool, 10 or 15 minutes? That'll go by fast when I'm drunk. No problem. 10 or 15 minutes go by. I'm like... I don't want to be a jerk. He said 10 to 15. I'll give him a few more minutes. Give him the benefit of the doubt. So I wait another 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, let me just call him real quick. Maybe they just some kind of issue. Call him up. He remembers me. That's I guess that's saying something.
Right.
So you called back earlier. He's like, yeah, it's gonna be 30 minutes. I was like, 30 minutes? It's already been 20 minutes. So we get into it on the phone. I'm like, I called you. What's the deal? He's like, I don't know. Just gonna take that long a time. Didn't really give me an answer. And I was like, you know what, bro? Forget about it. Never mind. Hang up on them. I was like, look, we can walk to the red line. I got some money on my card. Not a big deal. So we decided to walk to the red line. No big deal. Takes about 10 minutes to walk there from our house.
Okay.
Get on the train station. I'm like, look, I have a 7-day pass, and I got some money on my card, and I can just let you get on the card. For whatever reason, this one time, and I know there's a fare on this card. I know it. I'm willing to put money down there's a fare on the card, but it's not working. So we're both like, what are we going to do? It's right now like 4:30 in the morning. We're both tired. We just want this to be over.
You can't buy a new card?
Well, it's like the actual train station that you can't like buy a card, and I didn't have any cash on me to put money on the card. So I was like, I don't know what to do. We're just kind of like looking around. I was like, do you have any money on you? Like $2. That's all we need. He's like, I got nothing. I was like, So this random black guy walks up to us. He's like, "Hey, do you guys need a taxi cab?" This sounds amazing. I was like, this is like something in the dream. I'm like, yes, we do need a taxi cab. Yes, we do. I'd like to have a taxi cab right now. He's like, yeah, where are you guys going? We explain the whole situation, and we're going back north. He's like, oh man, Clark and Devine. He's like, that's pretty far. He's like, I could do it for $25. I was like, that's fantastic because we paid $32 to get there. Right. And that's from Wrigleyville. We're talking about getting closer to our house.
Hold on, wait a second. I thought you didn't have any cash.
I didn't have any cash.
Oh, how are you?
There was an ATM that we found, so I was like, "We'll go to the ATM real quick, get some money out, and if take out $60 or whatever." I figured, why not have the money? No big deal.
Okay.
It is saying like there's a lot of things that are not going to make sense because I'm drunk right now. There really isn't any kind of like I have basic things: don't steal, don't cheat, don't hit anybody.
Okay.
And everything else is just kind of like it'll come as it's necessary.
Okay. So you were gonna get some cash and then pay this guy to take you back north.
Yeah.
$25. Problem solved.
Problem solved. So he's like, let me talk to this guy real quick, and we'll get out of here. I'm like, cool. Enough time for me to get some cash out. Ryan's like, you got it. And I was like, yeah, don't trip. We walk outside the train station looking for a cab. No, there's not a cab in sight. There's nothing out there, like at all. I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. Is this cab around the corner? What's going on? Across the street, there's like this shit 1993 van of some sort. This is not a cab. No medallion, no little cab things or whatever. Just a shit van with no rims.
This is the guy?
This is the guy's car.
He's there.
I'm like, hey, my man, is this you? He's like, oh yeah. We're like, we thought you were a cab driver. He's like, yeah. Like not even like a real answer.
Right.
And he's walking to the car. So we're behind him. I'm like, what do you want to do? Like I'm like, do you want to get in this car? Do you want to just figure something else out? Just whatever. So Ryan's like, I'm tired. We're vulnerable and we're drunk and we're tired and it's like 4:50 in the morning and I just want to be home. Like get on the train is just so ridiculous. Like I had to take it from wherever the hell we were, which is 67th Street, all the way down to Loyola, and then we had to walk at least 10 or 15 minutes because the bus that gets there isn't there. So
would have taken like well over an hour, definitely.
Oh, easily. So I was just like, I really don't want to do that. Right. He's like, what do you want to do? I was like, you got my back? He's like, yeah, I got your back. I was like, I got yours too, man. Let's do this. So we get in this this guy's car. I guess so. He's like, hey, before we get going, I need to go to the gas station and get something real quick. So I'm like, apprehensive a little bit. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. Get to the gas station, which I feel like was a mile or a mile and a half away from our destination. So I really don't know where I'm at now. He took a couple turns. I'm a little bit lost. I'm also drunk, like I said. And so he gets in the cab, gets in the gas station, talks to the attendant at the time or whatever. Now, there's his girlfriend or his wife or some significant woman other is in the car, and she's like, how y'all guys? She's got some kind of weird raspy voice, like, how you guys doing tonight? And we're like, we're good. Is this gonna be okay? And she's like, oh, he's a good man. He ain't gonna hurt nobody. We ain't like that. I was like, this is shady. This is shady as shit. We're in this fucking gas station. I don't know where I am. It's fucking dark. I got $60 on me. I got a nice coat. No one knows I'm here. Oh, I guess some people know I'm there, but not a lot of people. And so, like, I look at the gas station, and there's, like, a window, and he's, like, talking to the guy, and he points out to us. And I was like, he's, like, we're getting marked right now. This is it. We're the marks. He's like, these chumps right here in the car, we're going to rob them. Meet me at some street. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, what do you want to do, Ryan? So Ryan's like, we're already here. And if we get out the car now, we really don't know what we're doing. So I was like, let's just stay in and see what happens. We finally get going. Get on the Dan Ryan, try to get on the Lake Shore, which makes sense. So I feel a little bit comfortable since he knows we're going. And we get to like some part of Dan Ryan. I guess the only part of Dan Ryan that doesn't have any kind of civilization around it, just like road and other road and the train. And the train can't stop or anything. And he pulls over on the side of the road and completely stops the car. And it's at this point in time that I was like, I'm dead. Like everything was like, he's going to turn around, he's going to shoot you guys, and take your money. You're gonna die in Dan Ryan.
It's like 5 in the morning.
It's 5 in the morning now.
I'm like, totally isolated.
No one's around. We're on the Dan Ryan. No one's gonna stop. Like we're in a car. So yeah. I was like, both the girlfriend and the husband turn around at us, and I'm like, we're like for like I don't know. It felt like it was forever in my mind. I was like, we're dead. Like I put the whole scenario together. I was like, we're dead. They're gonna shoot us. They're gonna leave us here. They're gonna take our shit. No one's gonna care. Unplug our cell phones. This is done. I was like, I guess I don't know if I accepted it at the time, but it was real. Like, I was terrified, like, for maybe a good 3 seconds. Turns out that the guy turns around and he's like, can you open and close that door behind you real quick? And I was like, sure. And Ryan opens and closes the door. He's like, all right, let's get going. That was it. After that, the ride was actually pretty smooth. We got home, and let me tell you, John, I've never been so happy in my life to be on Clark and Arthur. Like, I mean, Clark, not even by my house, just Clark and Arthur. I was like, Clark and Arthur feels so good right now. I was like, there's a Devon Market, there's a taco place, the 24th District. This is fan-fucking-tastic. I was high on life. I was like, I wasn't even drunk anymore. I was high on life. And that's how I could tell I was terrified, because I could sober it up in seconds. I was drunk the whole time there. When we pulled over the Dan Ryan, I was sober. I was like, I'm completely coherent. I know what's going on. This is a horrible idea. I should have never done this. I got $60 in my pocket. No one knows I'm here. This is terrifying. I didn't die. Needless to say, as I was telling you earlier, every story has a moral here. And the moral of this story is you should never get in and accept someone's ride who says they're a taxi cab driver and they're not in the cab. I'm going to talk to another person who says they're a taxi cab driver and they're not in the vehicle with the little medallion and the thing. Everybody else out there, strangers. I don't know them.
That's a very specific moral. That's not like a general moral about do unto others.
No. They're not in the taxi cab and they say, I'm a taxi cab driver. Bullshit. Shenanigans. We're calling shenanigans on it. I don't trust you.
Don't get in the gypsy cabs.
There you go. That's exactly. He wasn't probably a gypsy. I don't know. Needless to say, best meal of my life that night when we got tacos. Me and Ryan talked about it for like an hour, like how we escaped death. Went to bed at 6 o'clock and woke up at 8 to be at church.
At that moment, when you thought you were gonna die, did you look at him? I mean, what did you want your last look to be? The last person? Did you just staring straight ahead? Do you remember what you were seeing at that moment?
When the car was slowing down and getting over to the right, before I made a complete stop, I looked at Ryan, and Ryan looked at me at the same time. We just kind of like,
that's it.
What are we gonna do? There's nothing we can do right now. Nothing.
Were you prepared to try to fight for your life?
Yes, I was. Usually what happens when I ride in a car, I usually put my hands in my pocket or I kind of cross my arms.
So you could have anything in there. You could have a weapon.
No, I uncrossed them. I had my hands out. I was ready. I was ready for anything. Usually like this.
And you're a pretty big. I mean, you're what, 6'3"?
6'3", 6'2".
You're a big guy. You're intimidating.
I don't know. I feel like that's all I got. I was like, all I got is my hands. I don't have a weapon. I don't keep a knife or any kind of weapon. So I was like, so before the car slowed down, I actually looked at my friend Ryan. I was like, and we looked at each other like, what's gonna happen? Like, I don't know. I think he was giving the look like I don't know what's gonna happen. I was giving the look like we might be dead. We might die tonight, and it'd be so crazy because like the whole statistics about being a black male and blah 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 blah,
right?
And not making it past like 25 or whatever. I always make a joke about that. I was like, man, I'm on my 23rd birthday, really?
You're running out of time.
Running out of time, quick, man. I think I'm on borrowed time. That was a crazy situation. Like I said, and it was funny. I went to bed at 6 o'clock that night after eating the burrito and woke up promptly at 8 to go to church the next day.
So you made a point of going. Well, you were going to go anyway?
Oh yeah, I was going to go anyway, regardless if I was drunk or not drunk. But I planned to come home at least at 3. I didn't plan to come home at 6, like 3 hours later.
But you're saying you just woke up without an alarm?
No, my girlfriend woke me up. She's like, we have to go, and I was like, I know.
You know.
I know. I told the story what she thought was at first stupid of me. She was like, why would you get in the car like that? And I was like, I don't know, baby. I was weak. Yeah. I was tired. I was drunk. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm sorry. I actually thought about it. I was like, I'm not going to see her anymore. What else did I think about it? I think some thoughts went through my head. I thought about not seeing Ryan anymore. I thought about not seing her anymore. I thought about just being dead. And that was pretty much it. I was just like...
All that flashed through your head.
Oh, it was crazy. Like, it was like, in a matter of 3 seconds, I went from drunk to sober to thinking about everything, thinking about dying. I was like, well... And
then he said, can you close that door?
Can you open and close that door? That's it. Can you open and close that door? And after that, the ride was smooth. He knew where he was going. We got exactly at where we were going at a very decent
So wait, why the lesson should be do get in the gypsy cab?
No, that's not the lesson.
But nothing bad happened.
Nothing bad happened this time, but next time.
But there's no evidence that anything bad would happen from this story. I mean, you met a nice guy. He drove you home. He had his girlfriend in the car. Delivered as promised.
I don't know who she was.
Some lady. She was nice. Everybody was nice. Nothing bad happened.
The story is I felt I almost died. That's the story. And the story is after that kind of experience, I don't want to do that again. I mean, a friend or somebody I know, that's okay. I mean, just some random guy I met at a train, Probably not one of my best.
Does this apply to all sorts of vehicles with strangers? Like never pick up a hitchhiker? No, or are you willing to keep it specific to gypsy cabs right now?
No, as of right now, I'm going to go and keep it a gypsy cab. I've never been a hitchhiker. I never thought about doing it. Right. So I'm going somewhere.
But you were effectively a hitchhiker coming back from 67th Street.
Yes, it was.
You just weren't out on the street thumbing, but you were. I was trying
to figure something out. I wanted to go home, man. I was tired. I was so tired and drunk. And I was like, why don't we go here? We should just went home after with the bar. Because the bar was fantastic. I had a great time at the bar. I had a great time up until we left Robin's house.
There you go. Chris Goss, thank you for telling me this story.
You're welcome, John. Anytime.